before worrying about the class action, let's take care of the 15 or 20 people who are immediately within the circle of people that we can help, because then you can get the necessary evidence to show that, hey, listen, you did it here, you did it here, did it here. Like in Florida, we have what, 4 of us here that are in Florida. You could do it probably in Minnesota. And if we got 4, we got 40. If we have 40, we have 400, and so on and so forth.
Right. But also remember, as the courts can come up with, well, I guess they could do their own statute, but Congress does come up with statutes too. So you want to remember that in your elections and things like that, and talking to your senators and governors.
They write the law. Like they write the law. Congress writes
law.
Yeah.
Yep. So
state or federal, Congress writes law.
So there you go. Those are avenues and people you could put those in front of.
And don't be afraid to knock on the door. I do.
We need the momentum. Like Greg said, we got to take the people that we have on this call. We got to get some momentum and some success. I'm working on my end, pushing really hard. It sounds like Melissa's going to put in a good fight. Rick's obviously done some work. So if we can get some momentum and point out where the issues are, then maybe it'll help us if we decide to go further with it. But I think the courts, for whatever reason, whether they're incompetent or whether it's the system, who knows? But the bottom line is there's enough, statistically speaking, there are too many people that are having issues with this. And so I think we just need to have enough people pushing and forcing them to do the right thing, because maybe in the past, just because the information wasn't as readily available, we like all of us feel in this call, we just don't understand why, such a simple thing is being made so difficult. And so probably in the past, most people just gave up because maybe they didn't have anxiety to go in there and fight. But I think that's going away. And I think, we're kind of seeing a movement kind of pushing against government in general right now.
Well, I saw something that's pretty interesting. As we are doing this, I get these updates, and I have a couple of sites, but it's interesting. It's coming out of Florida, and it says oversight performed by the state's agency created to police Florida's long troubled professional guardians is so poor that one of the state's top auditors likened it to allowing students to grade themselves. And there's more to this, but I'm looking at this Department of Elderly Affairs, and I'm thinking about us, the conversation we're having now within this context. There has to be somebody responsible for it. We can find out who's responsible for it, and we, and then you all's individual states, because we have everywhere from Florida. Actually, I forgot Mike's in Florida. We have everywhere from Florida to Texas, Minnesota, here at least, and even North Carolina and South Carolina. So you just have to get people in your circle. One becomes two, and so on and so forth. And I think that this is how you can make the change, because you can get people's attention with Greg,
I don't know if Melissa was talking earlier when I was off the call, but I'm really interested to hear a little more about Melissa's situation for selfish reasons. So we know that we have people that that are in the lower income bracket that struggle, or they have multiple children, and that's obviously impacting their income as well. And I think they're probably being taken advantage of. Exactly. And then we know that people that are in a little bit better financial position, and are from professional careers, Dele, Rick, myself, we know they're having issues too. And historically it's been men, no discount to women, but historically it's been men dealing with this shit. I want to hear, for selfish reasons, Melissa's issue. Not that it can't happen to both, but I'm just curious. Melissa, tell us what's going on with you. Is she muted? She might. There you go.
She's good.
So mine started out, I just did the math last night because I was getting some stuff ready for speaking with Greg, so I respect his time and whatnot. My initial petition, like when I left my husband, I was legally married to my husband when I sat in front of that child support judge for the first time. I didn't know my rights. I had an 8th grade education. I just got my high school diploma in 2021. Never give up, better late than never. But over 209 days went between The last action on my case, the initial petition and the summons, the notice of related cases, was May 18th, 2011. The summons was served via substitute service against my on my estranged mother, February 23rd, 2012. That's a lot longer than 120 days. Do what?
That's background.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
So Melissa, let's it sounds like you've been dealing with it for quite a while.
Since 2011.
And you're saying your calculations haven't been correct from the beginning?
Oh no. And my clerk of court historically just ignores, like when I finally did receive a phone call telling me, hey, I just got this paperwork, which they didn't sign. My mom didn't actually, I found out later, my mom didn't actually meet the process server. He just gave up, and the neighbor told him what my mother's name was. He wrote it down and left it on her doorstep. So, but either way, I responded to,
Melissa, you have any proof of that?
if I can
Greg,
get a hold of the neighbor still, yes, but I know it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. I'm just giving you the information. I responded within 20 days. I responded on the 15th day, response to petition for support. I gave them my actual income at that time. I told them that I had fled domestic violence, that I was living from place to place, that we needed to establish custody. Now, fast forward, they went ahead with the hearing anyways. My response did not warrant what the statute said that it should have. So not only did they exceed the 120 days, they served the petition via substitute service. I responded within the 20 days. They did not stop the proceeding. Nothing happened that was supposed to happen. So I stood in front of this judge. They did not let me provide any evidence. They imputed me at minimum wage, despite the fact that I worked part-time. Everything was ignored. So then, time goes on, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Just like Greg said earlier, what everyone else said in the beginning, when you're getting your ass kicked, you get defeated. You're like, they're not listening to me. They won't listen to me. They just treat me like crap. I can't get in a word edgewise. They just talk over me. And then again, I had an 8th grade education. I did not understand the law. I didn't understand my rights. I fell victim to the game. And it's just been egregious mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Even with the clerk of court. So like I have 2 different entities where like the Department of Revenue has historically and repeatedly just ignored rules of procedure, due process, et cetera, et cetera. And then on the same hand, the Manatee County Clerk of the Circuit Court has continuously dropped the ball, miscalculations, errors in the financial information, application for indigent service or indigent status that my ex-husband filed, denied. He reapplied 15 days later with different information and then was suddenly improved. It's just little things that gave him an edge, but it also made me understand that like this is what most of you men go through. Most of you men fall victim to the woman getting away with all these little things, but these little things add up, and it's like I've literally had my license suspended 8 times. My car has been repossessed. I've been fired from jobs because I lost my driver's license, and it's like the people with the power don't understand that you're putting us in a perpetual state of struggle.
I wouldn't say they don't understand it.
And unless I really feel like, I know it's a joke that I said a long time ago, but I really feel like the only way we could ever get some of these upper politicians to understand is like sort of like a reality TV show where, okay, listen, Senator so-and-so or Governor Ron DeSantis, let's see if you can, survive. We're going to give you 6 months. You have no phone, you have no internet, you have no income. Your car is a 1977 Volkswagen Beetle. Only one window rolls down. You have nothing. let's see you pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Well, I think that some of this, though, that's speaking more to what the problems are versus speaking to what the law requires and what's not being followed. When you talk about an audit says, this is what the law says, this is what the rule says, this is what I'm looking at. And I guess, right, Rick, the prescribes are there. Whatever the standard is the standard. You just want to check your boxes to make sure that the boxes that whatever's done matches what the box requires. Don't worry about all the other stuff. Just say, listen, I wasn't properly served. I think I heard that. And this is what made this glaring